Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the England game against Germany, which was Group C of the UEFA Nations League, and just to give you my thoughts on the game and how I think it went. It was a very difficult game for England. I think Germany were really on their game. From the beginning, they were pressing really hard. They were chasing down every single ball that we were passing, and it made us make a few mistakes. All the way through the game, first and second half, I think we were making some silly mistakes. I was a bit disappointed with certain players. I think that Harry Maguire was a bit disappointing. He made a few mistakes and kind of lost his positioning a few times. I hope that he improves in time for the World Cup. If not, then I really do think that Gareth Southgate has to think about maybe other options instead of Harry Maguire, because he just doesn't seem to be on form at the moment for club or country. But anyway, Hoffman on 50 minutes in the that was at the second half, 5 minutes into the second half, got a goal, a good goal. It was a decent goal against us. Again, it was a little bit of a defensive mix-up, but it was certainly a good goal from their point of view, and they had been working really hard. We had created a few chances on our own. We'd pushed them back a couple of times and gave them a few things to think about. But overall, I think that they were dominant, certainly in the first half. Second half, we came back into the game a little bit, and we were creating some chances ourselves. And at times, Germany got a bit complacent, which we were able to capitalise on. They did. They did get a goal which was disallowed for offside, which I think was quite close, but it was offside in the end. And I think we were weathering the storm to some extent quite well. I think we'd have a few problems at times, and I think that with the Hungary game before, where we lost 1-0, it looks like we are not quite firing on all cylinders at the moment, which is a bit of a worry. I'm hoping that this is just because it's the UEFA Nations League, and that when the World Cup comes around, that we're actually going to be concentrating and doing a good job, because at times yesterday, watching the game, we looked a little bit second best. So, but then on 88 minutes, there was a penalty, and it looked like a kind of like a penalty, but it also looked kind of a lot like a penalty. But anyway, it was given. It was a VAR, and it was given as a penalty. Harry Kane stepped up and did a great job tucking it in the bottom corner of the net. And that was kind of how it finished. It was a little bit to and fro in the end, chances at both ends. But I think that in general, it was probably a 1-1 was a good result. I think that Germany dominated the first half. We kind of got back into it in the second half. So I think 1-1 was probably a fair indication of the game. But let me know what you think in the comments, of course, whether you believe that we should have won the game or whether you think Germany should have won it, and how you think we performed. Obviously, Germany fans as well, if you're watching this, let me know how you think Germany performed, and we'll have a bit of a discussion about it. There was a few changes. That's the German side, and this is the English side. There was a few changes. Saka, Mount, and Phillips all went off. And unfortunately, I mean, from a Crystal Palace point of view, we didn't get to see Conor Gallagher. He was on the bench, but we didn't get to see him in the game. I think Jack Grealish came on and did really well, and I think that hopefully he will start the next game, because when he came on, we had a little bit more impetus and a little bit more attack-minded, it seemed to be. Bellingham came on for Kevin Phillips, who looked like he got a bit of a dead leg. It happened a couple of times. I noticed that German players had kneed. It happened to Sterling as well. He got a knee in the thigh as well. I don't know whether it was tactics that the Germans were using, but a couple of our players managed to get a knee in the thigh, which is a bit odd because it doesn't happen that often in a game usually. But anyway, that was the lineup. That was the game itself. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't the best game we've ever played, but then it wasn't the worst game we've ever played either. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.